Ready to be in the spotlight? Are you ready to share your story with the world? Well, Snails with No Shells is where you need to be. Available on all digital platforms, Facebook, and YouTube. Snails with No Shells. Leave that shell at the door. Greetings, beautiful ones. I am Ms. BJ Martin, and this is Snails with No Shells. Leave that shell at the door. That's my only rule in this room. All right, we're going to get into it tonight. This is going to be an amazing video, amazing show tonight. We're doing something a little different, okay? So let's get into it. I'm excited. We're all excited. Let's go. I'm going to bring to the stage, this is my lovely friend and co-author, Deborah Juniper Fry. How you doing? Amazing. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for having me this evening.
Yes, thank you for returning. We had such a great time the last time you were here. So
yes,
I am honored, Queen. I am honored.
Same here. Same to you.
All right. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing something a little different. We're going to bring in, we have some male guests with us this evening. Let's get into it. Let's bring them on out. And then we're going to tell you all about it. All right. Here we go. Brian Leonard.
Hey, everybody. Hey, BJ. Hey, Coach. How you doing?
All right. It's great to see you.
Amen.
Yes. All right. Next guest, Michael Fry.
Hey, how you doing?
Now we have Deborah Fry and Michael Fry. Okay, we'll just keep that for now. All right. Next guest, Coach Ray in the
building.
Hey, Coach
Ray.
How are you?
I'm well. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Glad to have you. And last but not least,
Well. Hello, everyone. So glad to be here.
I love it.
BJ. Deborah,
how are you?
all the guys.
Yes.
Hey.
I'm glad to have all of you. Thank you for showing up for yourselves and also for showing up for everyone else who's going to need you at this point in their lives. Okay. All right. So, like I said, this is a special show. Deborah, I'll let you explain why we're here.
All right. So we are here because the Lord gave me a wonderful vision to bring this book to life a little over 2 years ago, but I put it high up on the shelf. I didn't think I was qualified to do it, but in those 2 years, the Lord matured me. He helped me. In October of last year, when he woke me up at about 4 that morning, he gave me the green light to start doing this book. And the great thing about it is we have anthologies all the time, all over the world. But he told me to have men come to the table. He told me to have men to come and share their heart on the paper. And he told me to have men to talk about grief, the different grief that they have had in their life that they wanted to share, that they thought would be some insight and some encouragement and some help for other men, other women, anyone that read this book, Grief Through His Eyes, seeing grief from his point of view.
Yes, and I'm going to show you guys the back of the book so we can see. We have all the co-authors and the visionary herself. Yes, Deborah Juniper Fry.
I love that picture.
I love it too. I wish I could have made it a whole background, but it's kind of,
It's okay. You're doing great.
So that is the book Grief Through His Eyes. I want to say thank you personally because I'm a mental health advocate, and I'm always celebrating our men because I
Mm,
know we need our men to be able to heal, so that they can be here for us because we need you. We need you
yes.
like a lot. You can see what's going on. We need our men. So I'm definitely supporting this cause. Absolutely. I love it. Now, when you said it in our last interview, I was like, I was so excited.
Right.
I was like, this is going to be amazing. All it takes
Yeah.
is just, like you said, one or two. We are gathered
Yes.
in his name.
Mm-hmm.
The rest.
Yeah, rest is history.
Yes, yes. That is awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, so let's go to Mr. Brian Leonard. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, my name is Brian Leonard. And first of all, BJ, I want to thank you for inviting me, along with our coach and our visionary, Sister Deborah Fry, Juniper Fry. We love you. We love you. My chapter in Grief Through His Eyes is called Grief Relief. Tears and joy comes in different shoes. And my story comes about as a result of during the pandemic, where during my 37th year anniversary celebration, me and my wife both caught COVID pneumonia. We was both hospitalized. And during the process, unfortunately, my wife transitioned to be with the Lord. But one of the things that has really encouraged and blessed me with through this story that I've written on paper for the world to see and for the world to read is to understand that even through the toughest times, whether it be the good times or whether it be the bad times, you're still a child of God.
Yeah.
Okay. And but in the midst of all of the things that I have been challenged with in my experience in ensuring that my family is okay, my mental health is okay, it allowed me to also be able to have this opportunity to minister to men and even women, because even women are being influenced and impacted as well, in knowing how to overcome grief and understanding that they're not alone. We all know that this pandemic season has been challenging for all of us, but I learned in my experience, and what I share in my chapter is that we can know that without a shadow of a doubt, God is the God of hope and comfort. That even in our present troubles, even in our tears and our sorrows and our griefs, our anger and our frustration and our questions that we may have at times, and even waiting for the answers at times, we can put our assurance and hope, understanding that we have the Lord our God who can help us in the most difficult times, that even many times that people may not understand. And that's what's kept me connected with such wonderful men, co-authors, and my coach visionary, and even yourself, like BJ, who wants to be that example to let people know that if you can if I can overcome it and get through these things, whether there is peaks, whether there be valleys of grief and sorrow, understanding that anytime we sow tears, there is definitely a harvest of joy, and that
Yes.
God continues to keep His word in helping us to live above the circumstances and situations that we may expectedly or unexpectedly face in life. So that's what pretty much my chapter provides for people all over the world.
Whew.
Absolutely.
I love it. That's a heck of a chapter.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Brian. All right. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
next we'll have Michael Fry. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I see Deborah Juniper Fry. And then I see Michael Fry. So what does that mean,
Yeah,
Michael?
that's my honey.
I
That's her. Yeah.
love it. That's a good
Yes.
way to describe her, honey. She's so sweet.
Well, thank
She
Yes.
you.
is.
Thank
Yes.
you.
My wife is an amazing woman. She inspired me to write my chapter, which is called Heartache to Healing. And I was a little reluctant to sit down and put my thoughts on paper, However, I had a lot to say in my mind, but she gave me the courage to sit down and put it on paper and allow for people to be able to read it and be able to address the elephant in their room. A lot of times, people are uh, in some kind of workplace environment and or some kind of job, and there's things going on that are not appropriate, but you're kind of walk around with the tape on your mouth and the muffles on your ears that you just can't address anything. And this chapter is to help people, not just men but women as well, address those issues and be able to find a way to cope and or get out of those situations.
Awesome. I love that.
Very
Okay.
good. Very good, Michael Fry.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Man, a few words, but boy, those words are powerful.
Yes.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay, Coach Ray.
How you doing? First off, I just want to say thank you to Mama Fry, and for giving me the opportunity to be a part of this. And I must say that it's been great. This roller coaster has been one of positivity and encouragement and renewed strength that is necessary in the process. Title of my chapter is Achieving Purpose Through Pain. Story came about because my father passed when I was 27, but because I was the responsible son, if you put it up, I put it in those terms. I was responsible. I had two brothers, but I was the responsible one, and the one my mom leaned on the most. I didn't really have the opportunity to grieve because I was making sure my brother was okay. I was making sure my mom was okay. Never had the time to stop. And I had an older brother who was calling me like all times of the night. He was grieving, so I was trying to get them through. Never had the opportunity to properly grieve myself, and the pain eventually started to develop in other ways. I talk about how that pain developed into, drinking, partying, promiscuity, what have you. Everybody's manifests differently. Out of that realm of my life, I was blessed, and despite the circumstances, I was blessed in fathering two children who are my world. And part of the reason why I do what I do. Time progressed, and God continued to work on me and work on me and work on me until finally He was like, "All right, you have a purpose. I put you here for a reason. It's time for you to stop worrying about what everybody views you as and step into your purpose." And so I did that, and I took that realm and stepped from my pain into purpose. And through that, I've been able to impact the lives of tons of youth in our 757 area that I love dearly, because that's my passion. My passion is giving back to the next generation, making sure their lives are better and helping them see that they have a bigger purpose in life. Um, if you go back to the Bible, there's always a realm or a conversation in the Bible where God is using the older people to bring the younger ones along, because God understood that the older people can only control the situation for so long. We're not supposed to walk into paradise the next generation is. We're supposed to prepare it for them.
Okay.
And that's why I stand the way I stand, because we're preparing paradise for the next generation. And the goal through that purpose that I was able to find through God was to understand that they don't achieve their purpose without us showing them how, without us guiding them. And for far too long, a lot of the older generations have kind of let go of the hands of the ones behind them. And this is why we are where we are now, with trying to figure out what's going on with this new generation and these kids. They're hurting.
Badly.
People in front of them that were grieving and didn't learn how to help them didn't help them. And these kids are hurting. So that's where God has put me in that position to be able to say, okay, I know you're hurting. Come talk to me. Let me help you get to where you're going.
That's
Wow.
outstanding.
That
Outstanding,
is.
Coach.
Okay, Coach. Put me in the game, Coach. Put me in the game. All right, all right. I love it. I love it.
Oh, boy.
Awesome. That was awesome. Okay.
Great
And
stuff.
Yes, that is. That's amazing. You're around this all the time. Wow. Wow, that is so inspiring. I love it. And see, ladies and gentlemen, we have some incredible men out here that are doing some amazing things in the world and in their community, and we don't even know it. And that's why when we have these platforms, and especially the smaller platforms, we need for you to subscribe and like and share so that everyone can know what's going on. We need your help. These men need your help. Deborah needs your help. We need your help to spread this word because it's important. It's very important. All the stuff that's going on, all that mess, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
need some good wholesome things going on, and especially our men that are so strong, in the community.
Yes.
So, all right, Cliff, it's your turn.
Yes, ma'am, BJ. Thank you so much for having me. I went on a journey with my story, starting out with my most tender moment of grief when I was a child. And I lost my mother. I lost my mother at age of 16, and I was the one that discovered her gone. So from that moment on, just a little story about my mother. She was a Christian woman. She was raising 7 children. I was the youngest of all of the 7, and I was the last one home with her when she passed away. So it was only her and me living together, and everybody else had gone their own, their separate ways and that kind of thing. So basically, because of such a tender moment and what I went through, my purpose changed. I was a rebellious child. I dropped out of school at 16 as soon as I got able to do it. And when my mother passed, I was at that state. So I was in the I was in the mindset that, oh man, I missed it. My mom passed, and here I am, really not in her will, to please her. She's prayed for all 7 of us to be saved. And my grief became my motivator, my strongest motivator, because now this grief that I had was the driving force to make me please my mother. And I've had so many stages in life. So I went all the way through the various stages and life. I lost her at an early age, and then I had some other circumstances that I told. I'm a pastor also, and I went through various things. I went through stages of life to please my mother, got saved, became a pastor, became a leader, just doing things in the community and things like that. And each time, I felt a sense of every level. I felt a sense of achievement because my grief became what I'm calling now good grief. The name of my chapter is Good Grief,
Okay.
and good grief meaning that my grieving moments turned out to be something very positive because it left me with a place now. I won't tell my age, but I'm out there, right? but through all the circumstances, that all the levels that I've gone through, it looked like my mom would have been more and more and more proud as I go. Currently, I'm the new branch manager of the food bank in Western Tidewater, and brand new plant, brand new
Awesome.
branch, and the Lord has put me in a place where I can do the best good for other people, and that's my heart. That's what makes me a pastor, because that's the burden that the Lord's put on me. So my chapter, Good Grief, not only from my perspective, but also in how how I perceive God sees our grief. When we were growing up, people would say, "Good grief!" If it ain't one thing, is another. They're looking
Right.
for you're looking for something bad. But you know what? If grief wasn't something that God intended for us to go through, He would not have allowed it and planned it that way, because grief is necessary for our spiritual growth and for our eternal
Absolutely.
strength in loving people. So all that's in my book, and I mean all in my chapter, and my chapter is Good Grief. And I think it's a good thing that every man goes through the process of grief. Many of us don't get to experience it because we get stuck in one of the stages of grief. Maybe we're angry, maybe we're in disbelief, maybe we don't know that we're in grief. But
Hmm.
this book is a book that encourages not just men, but anybody that read any chapter to now begin to examine their own grief. There's a journal behind every chapter. So what I tell everybody, you don't have to read this book from cover to cover. You can read one chapter and then you can begin to reminisce and think about your own story. And it's all in letting your story out. Either you write it or tell it. The Bible says that we'll overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of our testimony. So we're talking about getting delivered, getting free, and allowing people all over the world to experience this freedom that we're talking about.
Okay, Pastor. Yes.
Outstanding.
Yes. Where's the tray? I need for the offering tray.
Offering, honey.
Hey, y'all be glad I don't have a link or somewhere we can press the button and they can send some money. Because
So we got a button like that. We got those kind of buttons. Believe me, we got those buttons.
It's called Cash App.
I love it.
boy.
I love it. Okay, so
Isn't
we're going
it
to take
great?
a pause. We're going to take a pause right here. I'm going to have to give a shout out to the sponsor of this evening's show.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
That was great.
And we are back. Thank you. And yes, I designed that commercial. Yes, I do.
Very nice, BJ. Very nice.
Excellent job. Excellent job.
Thank you.
And listen, I just want to say,
just my imagination, or is it just insanity?